What do you think is, I mean, the word meditation and mindfulness is used a lot. What do you think are some of the sort of common misconceptions or sort of false assumptions about those practices?
Yeah. Well, there's many kinds of meditation. And I think some people who may be well versed in one meditation think that that's meditation. Um, there's a lot of people who practice TM or transcendental meditation, which is a form of like chanting and repeating a phrase, which is wonderful. And there's so many different kinds out there that serve different purposes. Um, one of the ancient words for um, meditation means mental cultivation, or this cultivation of the mind. And there's different ways we can cultivate the mind. We can cultivate the mind to focus and to concentrate. We can cultivate the mind to judge less through um, uh, sort of opening the heart and or enhancing curiosity and openness to whatever's here. Um, so there's many ways we can cultivate the mind, and so there's many different styles, many different flavors. There's just not one kind of meditation, and certainly not one that's necessarily better than the others either.
Right. Yes, because I think sometimes people have that misconception that it's just one type of thing and it's variations on a theme of managing your consciousness and learning to direct it. Let's face it, consciousness is probably our greatest gift as human beings. So I think that's right. Um, and one of the things that I've come across is a sense of some people have, well, yeah, I meditate, for a few minutes, every day or 3 times a week or whatever. It's almost like kind of doing bicep curls or something. Um, but in my experience with it, I'm not an experienced meditator, but I do use mindfulness practices. Um, those times where you find a comfortable spot and do mindful practice, whatever that is, that's fine. But you then got to, I think, have that translate into the rest of your life. It's not just these few minutes sitting quietly, although that can be helpful, of course. But the purpose is really to generate that into your total existence, not just those few minutes when you're sitting comfortably. What do you think about that?
Absolutely, yeah, and that's actually one of the big misconceptions too, is that it's this isolated practice where we only bring mindfulness to our experience when we're sitting on a cushion, or that we have to be in a cave, or have our eyes closed and
Hmm.
complete silence. But I think that people have different purposes, um, but I do think that the overarching direction of mindfulness practice is integration, integrating mindfulness into more and more of our day, more and more facets of our lives, more and more experiences that we have. So, mindfulness in formal meditation practice, as you said, is a wonderful thing and can certainly propel our ability to be mindful. But if you're not doing it outside of meditation, then what are you doing it for? Like, you can find those 5 minutes a day or 15 minutes a day to kind of check in and notice your experience and settle the mind and open the heart. But um, You know, not to be too religious here, but the Buddha talked a lot about this. He said that um, mindfulness is the only practice we can do at all times. Every other practice, we kind of have to stop whatever else we're doing to do that other practice. But with mindfulness, we can apply mindfulness to anything. And I think it behooves us to try that, to bring mindfulness to conversation, to bring mindfulness to um, our emotions, to bring mindfulness to um, sounds and sights and smells and eating. It can be a wonderful healing tool for addiction. And I think a lot of us are addicted to something. As I sip my black tea right next to me, but it can be applied to anything, and the more we integrate mindfulness into our life, the more embodied and present we are for this precious moment right now. And so it's about really opening up to what's here fully, or as much as we can, because this is a very precious human life. And if we're missing it, then it'll be done before we know it.